Welcome to the OAPN Podcast with your host, Adarsh Sakare. No bullshit, no cuts. 100% raw conversations with 0% fucks to give. We don't encourage the consumption of alcohol, but if you want to open up a cold one while you watch this, it's not a bad idea.
Welcome to episode number 116. On a personal note with Adarsh Sakare. On episode number 115, we had Khushi Chandrasekhar. Sweet girl. Sweet episode. Yet another special one for sure, because she was the third one from the family who was here at the studio, and it was nice to have her here. It was long pending, and if you haven't watched that, you should definitely watch it. Today we are on 116. This is also, I would say, quite a long pending episode. Before I speak a little more about the guest, let's say hi to Sharat. Prabhath. Hi Sharat.
Hi. Hi. Namaskara. Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming, Sharat.
Thanks for having me.
It took us a while to coordinate this.
Yes.
So before anything else, Deepika Appaiah, thank you for making this happen.
Thank you.
Because of her, we landed at a Kathak show. True. I think Divya's Kathak show.
Yeah.
And that's where Deepika said, listen, I need you to meet someone very special, very talented. You should get him on the podcast. I said, okay, absolutely. And then I think that's where we met. Yes. Today we are here. So Deepika, thank you so much for that connect. Sharat, so, it's difficult to introduce people like you. It's very difficult. You come sit here, you'll know. It's, I think, very difficult to introduce people like Sharat. I think just because of the pure number of achievements you have to your name. No, it's a privilege to sit here. Let me not take that light or take that away from you. So first of all, it's a privilege to sit here opposite you. It's an honor that you accepted our invite. And I really respect this conversation, and I really respect the time you have taken out to be here. So let me say that.
Thanks first, a lot. Very kind of you.
Yeah. So Sharat is here. I mean, I don't think there is an art form that Sharat hasn't dipped his feet into, if I may say so, right? Whether it's dance, whether it's composing music, whether him being a Harikatha artist, whether him just being a fan of literature and art, if I may say so, right? Or whether it being Sharat's constant dedication to keep the family heritage up. And that's not easy as well, right?
True.
It's not easy to live up to those standards, right? In everything you say, in the way you move, in the way you speak. So I think that deserves, acknowledgement as well. When I was going through Sharat's work, of course, after meeting him, what I thoroughly enjoyed was, and in fact, I met you that evening at the place we all went for dinner. Correct. We were there as well. Yeah. And now because the podcast has become so ingrained in me, as soon as someone tells me you should have someone on the podcast, subconsciously, I'm observing the person. If not consciously, right? If not consciously, I'm not a creep to keep staring at you, but
of course.
Subconsciously, I'm very aware of, who you are, how you're speaking, how you're gelling along with people. And the first impression I had was, Sharat is, Sharat is not in this world. Sharat has a different way of speaking. He has a different way of looking at life. Now, whether it was in reality or on his Instagram, there's very specific things he does, right? And I also feel such people don't really care about what others are saying or what others are thinking, whether it's good or bad. I feel like they are very confident of what zone they are in. And that's very, I could observe that very easily about you. So I just wanted to call that out. I don't know if... that's part of the introduction, according to me. The other thing I felt was, Sharat is generally very aware of, not just aware of art, but he does have an individual opinion as well. That's what I felt from your, media. Especially when you belong to heritage like he does, it's very easy to nod your head along to everything that's being said and told and taught. But what I really liked about Sharat was, though this knowledge has been transferred and this heritage is part of him, it hasn't stopped him from developing an independent opinion around it and having his own say on things. I think that's what I got really excited about when I approached you, that okay, I'm going to get some interesting thought processes through here. And just before we start the episode, we already started a conversation on astrology, which was like, like it's a very interesting topic for me. Here we are. I mean, if you know Sharat, it's like I said, it's very hard to really go through with the list of accomplishments. There's quite a bit. But let me tell you, this is a conversation that's going to give you an opportunity to know him a little better than before, that's for sure. If you don't know Sharat personally, if you've been to one of his shows, or if you've just met him once, or maybe come across his content at some point, this is a conversation that's definitely made for you. So Sharat, welcome again. Thanks for coming here.
It was a wonderful introduction. Thanks.
Really? I mean, I tried.
Seriously, that kind of observation and the choice of your words.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
And Sharat, you know what? I don't know what you came in expecting for this episode, but I really I apologize in advance if my curiosity takes us places where maybe you didn't didn't plan to.
That's okay.
Yeah, so I'm here to have a conversation with you.
Say very honestly, all the podcasts that I've done till date, they're very topic centric. Be it Harikatha, be it my production. So a recent one that I did with Vivek Agnihotriji. So it was.
Yes, I saw that.
Yes, it was. It revolved around Mahabharata and my production 18 days. Yeah. So here I've come without any baggage of thoughts or samskara, let's say. Yeah. So however it goes, whichever way it goes, it takes us. I'm ready. Yeah, sure. I'm very, very happy. Let us be very casual that way.
Yeah. I'm glad because that's how I wanted to be, and this is purely not professional. This is us meeting you and getting to know you. Yeah. And on the sidelines we have cameras running because at the end of the day we need to make money in the future out of this. Can't do everything for free. Correct? Anyway, Sharat, thanks for coming. How are you? Are you happy?
I'm good. I'm very happy.
Yeah?
Extremely happy. Very
happy?
Good. Delighted.
Life generally?
Life in general, yeah.
Is life kind to you?
Life is life with me.
So it's not?
I'm kind to myself. Yeah, that way.
Oh, okay. That's nice. That's nice. I'm kind to myself. Yes. We don't know about life. But you got to at least be kind to yourself. Nice answer. I think one of those good answers people have given. Anyway, Sharat, when you're so deep into art, especially coming from the family you come from and the exposure you've had, what's one thing about it that you enjoy the most?
See, initially you told that I have an opinion about everything. So art, according to me, is opinion. See, be it music or dance, in my opinion, this tune suits this rasa or emotion. There's another tune that suits another rasa or emotion. Similarly, this style of dance, I think, for example, there are people who believe that if I choose Kathak, I need to create a framework where I work only with Kathak. I don't use any other vocabularies, but I don't think like that, because to me it's like, let's say it's Ghatotkacha character. So Ghatotkacha, I don't expect him to come and do a Paranamat on stage. He can't do tha, ta, ka, thunga. It doesn't suit. So in my opinion, like art, according to me, is just opinion. So the one plus point that I had from my childhood was I was exposed to multiple art forms at a very young age, and I was allowed to have my own opinion. That was the best thing about my family. So it was a family of artists, like illustrious family belonging to the legacy of Purandara Dasru. Yeah. So we were 64 of us living under the same roof.
Oh, really?
In Vishweshwarapura.
Wow. At what point of?
Till 97.
64 of you?
64 of us.
Just fix his chair, kindly. Shouldn't have. Very good.
No, I think it's okay. So, shall I start? Okay.
Yeah.
So, 64 of us living under the same roof. 64 of us, like first cousins and first circle. And then every day in the morning, we had around 30 salaried or artists who visited our house. We also had a separate segment behind our house for our technicians who are like 25, 30 in number. So every day, on an average, there were 100 people having lunch together and dinner together, and every day we had like 2 to 3 shows. So this was my childhood. All the aunts, all the uncles, everyone was so intrigued and so curious to teach a new song or tell a new story to us, all the cousins, all the grandchildren. So this was my childhood, and I think that is the reason. I've always believed that with the sense of responsibility that I have, and much the name, brand name Prabhath, lot to be done, lots to be taken ahead. But in spite of that, I'm very deep down, I'm very, very grateful. Very, very grateful to be belonging to this illustrious family.
Yeah. I saw your chart, your family chart. I think you made a video, right?
Yes.
So where is this chart found?
It's there with us, starting from Acharya Madhva and his 4 disciples, and then it comes down to Purandaradasru and his Shishya Parampara. Finally, up to me, because I'm still trying to continue Harikatha. So we have the chart. I can share that with you. It's there.
We'll put it up.
Surely.
No, I'd always heard about these things. It's the first time I saw it. On your video. I'd never paid attention to these things. Very interesting how humanity has attempted to capture all of this, record all of it. So interesting to see that. And what do you think is the reason for that? What do you think is the reason for protecting this lineage, for details about it? Why does someone do this, you think?
See, our system is such.
Okay.
See, be it any single. Again, I'm so sorry. I'm taking you to the
please
the Shastrik.
Sure, please.
Space, because any mantra we chant or any sukta that we say, every time we start with Rishi, Chandas, Daiva. So it is there in our system, engraved in our system, that we remember the one who has given it. We remember the source and then go ahead. So even after we finish our Sandhya Vandana, let's say we do something called Pravara, Chatussagara Paryantam Go Brahmana Shubham Bhavatu. We do all that. So even there, and when we are when we are introducing ourselves, we talk about our Gotra, we talk about our father, we talk about ourselves.
Oh, really?
So this is there. Yeah, this is there in our system. So it is very, very important for us to know the root, the source. Finally, that source takes us to Hamsa Namaka Paramatma, Parabrahma. Finally.
Yeah.
So it is there in our system. This is what I feel. And somewhere in between, we lost that. Documentation phase was not there in our country. Okay. But very slowly, gradually, eventually we're getting it. And to know your father, your forefathers, your ancestors, it's very, very important is what I think. Because you're connected to the roots. And if you're connected to the roots, you're nourished, very well nourished, and you can blossom really well.
Super. We'll come back to some of these topics.
Yes.
But beyond all of this, there's Sharat, Prabhath. I want to know Sharat a little.
Yes.
We have never met. This is the first time we're meeting. So, Sharat, you mentioned you were always allowed to have your own opinion. So, back in school and college, how was it? Were you a very sweet son, a rebellious son? What were you?
Not a rebellious son.
Okay.
My brother had taken that spot. So
oh, is it? Okay. So you're
two of us. Yeah, my elder brother Bharat had taken that spot. So I was not left with that. I was a very nice child. Okay. But in school I was quite a ruckus that way.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Okay. The friend group, friend circle was such, and school was amazing. Kumarans.
Oh, okay.
So in every aspect, school, like even in school, it was fantastic and lots of fun that way. And back home, I grew up with elder people, older than me. Like all my cousins, like minimum like 4-5 years elder to me. Okay. So at first grade, I knew things that I was not supposed to know. So that's how my childhood was. And I'm very, very happy because I've done things that I can't even share with you.
Can't talk on this episode.
So even in my PUC, I've done things that I can't share with you. So, but it was fantastic. Every moment I remember my childhood was really very rich in terms of experiences.
Sweet. So how was it different in school? Of course, like you mentioned till 1997 you had this huge what do you say, what's the word, joint family, if I may say so, right? you of course were living a very different life compared to
Others.
some of your peers and all of that.
Sure.
And so you'd be waiting to go back home, or what is
Yes, because the strength of the school and also strength of the family was the same. So, so it was like living with people, playing with people, studying with people, in school, going back home, and again playing with cousins and friends and spending time. No, I'm not exaggerating. At the entrance, we used to have like 100
at your house?
The old house, 100 pairs of footwears. Like visiting a temple on a daily basis. Yeah, on a random day. Random, like you'll be sitting in the veranda, you'll see Dr. Rajkumar walk. You'll see Sitar Ravi Shankarji, Balamurali Krishna. These people walk. Because we also had a studio there in the same building, same complex.
Oh my God.
We also had a dress space, which we gave out for rent. So, like all the movie stars, musicians and dancers, politicians, Advani ji had come home. Like spiritual fountainheads like Swami Rama had come from Himalayas. So, such was my childhood. School also I enjoyed. School was fantastic. Very, very fun. Back home, double fun. Fun to the power of infinity. So this is how it was. This is how it was. And after I moved again here, it was similar. Like to the current house that I am staying in. So here we have cousins from mother's side. But of course we stay very close geographically. So here as well, the childhood was filled with fun and memories and lots of playing, cricket, volleyball. We used to block roads with, we stole a net from Krishna Rao Park and and we used that net to play volleyball and badminton. So we used to block a road, play and so normal, any Indian kid.
So what happened to that home?
That home, unfortunately, after my generation, we didn't have place to stay because after my generation it was too much to take. So like everyone, all the elders, they collectively decided that it's time to move. It's time to so but again we all are doing very business together. We are very well connected. We all stay in the like not more than 2 or 3 kilometers radius. We all stay very close to each other. All South Bangalore.
Okay. But what do you think, like in today's age, we're only talking about nuclear families, right? More and more it's about nuclear families. And honestly, I think my parents grew up in all joint families, but of course when we were born, then they said similar things.
Unfortunate,
like, let's move out. But I feel like it's a good life having a joint family.
True.
But at the same time, sometimes it's too much invasion into
privacy.
So what do you think the future should be? Our generation should do what? We should go back to joint families, or should we just continue with nuclear?
I think we should go back to joint family with privacy.
Okay, how does this work?
I'll tell you, because
what
you will
what unheard combination is this?
I'll tell you. So even in life, like you have your private space and also public space. So you have your room. Let's say the space is big enough. You have your private room and you also have areas where you can share with your family. And I very strongly feel the reason for anxiety, other issues that this current generation, also the next generation is facing, is because of this. One major issue is that we are living in a nuclear family and both parents are working. The child has a nanny or a nurse who takes care of the child, and there's no proper samskara transition happening. All these things lead to anxiety and many other issues. This is what I feel. But in a joint family, even in the absence of your parents, there is a grandmother who takes care of you, or dodamma, or chikkamma, or someone. Yaradru irtare to help you out. And there are cousins in same age you can go and share with them, and there is some way of venting out the venom that you have, or the things that you have been affected with.
True. I agree to that. Like the home should actually feel like home. Nuclear family, I feel the home stops feeling like a home after some point. It just feels like a place you come to
rest.
Where you're paying some money to someone and taking that place up. It's not really a home.
Correct.
And I really agree with your opinion on it reducing anxiety and all of that, because think about it, right? Like the stresses a person goes through has never changed. The same stresses have existed
Correct.
generations together. Even now, it's not like now. Maybe it's a different type of stress, but it's the same level of stress you go through at different ages.
Sure.
But we just don't have people around us. We don't feel like the sense of belonging sometimes, just because we don't have that many family members around.
Correct.
Yeah, I mean, that's a different conversation. Anyway, so you, I also forgot to mention, you have a master's in Sanskrit,
Yes.
which is so amazing. Like, we just met Samashti.
Samashti
was
yes,
here.
he's a very
and
good friend of mine.
yeah, that was my first conversation around Sanskrit, and it was like I sat like a student here opposite her and just took how much ever I could. But masters in Sanskrit, I mean, was it hard for you? Was it?
Well, it was because I did this during COVID. Yeah.
Okay.
So my idea was to go through the texts as they are without interpretations or translations. So that is the reason why I took up Sanskrit. One. Second, I aim at performing Harikatha in Sanskrit.
Mm-hmm.
So those two are the reasons why I took up masters, and then in the process I understood it's so beautiful. I mean, like it's actually there in us,
Okay.
Indians. When I say in us, I mean Indians. It's there in us. This language is there in us. This vocabulary is there in us. Grammar is there in us. It's only that process. When you study Sanskrit, it's a process for you to unlock the door. That's all it is. So it was an eye opener for me. Beautiful experience. I started writing in Sanskrit, and I've written a few couplets and a few scripts in Sanskrit.
Okay.
And I try to strike conversation in Sanskrit, and I'm now planning to do a Harikatha in Sanskrit.
Wow.
So
Very soon.
yeah, very soon.
Just going back a bit about, so what ambition did you grow up with in terms of how am I gonna, what's the job am I gonna do, am I gonna join the business, did you have something on your own, did you have something out of all of this? So just early ambition of what my professional life is going to be. What was it for you?
No, very honestly speaking, I don't know. Somewhere I knew that I'm going to end up as an artist.
Okay.
Initially, I thought I'll be an actor.
Oh, wow.
Initially,
Okay.
I wanted to be a...
You have had your fair share of acting as well on stage.
Yes. So, I wanted to be a movie star, basically. Initially.
You can be.
I wanted to be. And now that I've tasted stage, I like this better. So that was my dream. I knew that I'm going to end up as an artist ultimately. But Udyogam Purusha Lakshanam anta heli tale kedsidrala. So I took the same way. Business management, MBA, and then worked for 6 years.
Where did you do MBA in business management?
Pesital ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು, and then after that I did in VTU, JSS College MBA, and then I was working in a real estate firm as a strategic analyst.
Real estate firm?
Quicker Homes. So
why did you want to waste time like this?
No, so there's this very interesting anecdote I need to share with you. So my teachers were unhappy that I started working. And nan chikama. So they were like, why are you working? You need to dance, you need to do this, that, and that. Papa Tumba, they were very much into this, and they were really happy with my commitment towards it. So I told, what is the name of the company? I said, Common Floor. So Machikapa was like, leave that to common people. So, so I was like, okay.
As direct as
very savage. So I'll work about it. Then I jumped to Zee Kannada. So I was working with Raghavana Hunsur sir, Raghu sir.
Sweet.
So ಅಲ್ಲಿ brand manager ಆಗಿ work ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ, and and after that I was working with NPS. I was teaching music and theatre. And meanwhile, like parallelly, I had started 2 companies of my own, and adu pick up aagta ittu. And then I quit my job because this was rising. There was a surge in the number of events and all the inquiries that I was getting. So I thought I should quit my job. I quit my job, and then COVID happened. So because I've never been at home. So ನಂಗೆ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಕೆ ಆಗ್ತಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಕೋವಿಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, and I thought ಇವಾಗ ಏನು ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. And then this was a long cherished dream to do masters in Sanskrit, so I took that up.
So during COVID was basically the masters.
Masters and self-development. I used to practice for like 4 hours a day, 5 hours a day. I was very, I shouldn't be saying this, but I was very happy. COVID ali, that time I had left, of course I fell sick and all that happened, but to spend more time with you without any like external challenges or pressure.
Yeah,
I think that was the most beautiful aspect of COVID. Unfortunately, we needed something like COVID to make us realize
that. And you see how as COVID went out of the system, we started packing our schedule again.
Correct.
Right? And it's back to where it was.
Square one, yes.
Yeah, back to square one. Anyway, what art form really made you go feel alive out of so much of exposure? What's that one art form if you had to narrow down? I know it's hard to choose.
Yes.
I'm not asking you to choose, but what was the earliest art form that made you feel alive?
Dance. I was very, very inspired by Jackson and then Hrithik Roshan.
Okay.
So I started as a street dancer. Hip hop.
Really?
Hip hop. Yeah, I used to do headstand, neck stand, head spin and all that. Tumba stunt alla maadi school alli, college alli. You know how it is in college and school. So I took all the all the eyeballs that were there. I wanted to capture all the eyeballs and I did that. But I was generally like I used to dance and perform in every family function.
Following.
I kind of had so
the right type of following. Yeah. Nice.
So adaitu, and then my teacher spotted me. She was like, Machikama, like you're wasting your time. You should come and learn Kathak Kanta. I was in 9th standard. So I was like, no, Kathak. Because my mother is a very renowned Bharatanatyam guru, very senior. So I had seen a lot of Bharatanatyam from my childhood, and I don't know why. I just didn't want to learn that. ತುಂಬಾ ಅಮ್ಮ ಹೇಳೋರು ನೀನು ಮಾಡಲೇಬೇಕು, ನೀನು ಕಲಿಲೇಬೇಕು, ನೀನು ತುಂಬ ಮುಂದೆ ಹೋಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. ನಂಗೆ ಅದೇನೋ ಇಲ್ಲ, ನಂಗೆ ಬೇಡ, ನಂಗೆ ತುಂಬ ನೋಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಓವರ್ ಡೋಸ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ. ಐ ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಡೂ ಹಿಪ್ ಹಾಪ್, ಅದು ಇದು ಅಂತ.
I love it.
Chikama was like, she physically lifted me. She was like, you are doing this. And then Kathak ಸೇರ್ಕೊಂಡೆ, and I was enticed with that form.
Really?
I saw my Chikappa and he was fantastic, and I was like, okay, if there is any classical form that I should learn, I should take ahead, it is Kathak. Then I started learning Kathak. Meanwhile, music ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು, music training, Carnatic music training ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು. So ನನಗೆ as I told you, Jackson, Hrithik Roshan and Rahman have been Rahman music, apart from classical repertoire, Rahman music has really greatly influenced me. Tumba khelta idde, and somewhere I wanted to be a composer also.
Okay.
And 9th standard I did my first composition.
Wow.
Of a Kannada ghazal that Appa had written.
Super.
So avaginda I thought, okay, there is something nice about this. You know, you are actually again communicating, telling your opinion to people. So this is how I envision this song. This is how I visualize it. You know, so idu madak shuru madde, and then finally all these things led to Harikatha. Harikatha was an accident again.
Okay.
I really didn't want to do it. I was happily playing cricket outside, and Appa called me, and for some pro project they were doing a documentary shoot on sacred art forms of India, and they had chosen Harikatha. And I was very, very much concerned about my scoring run outside. So he called me and he said, they're doing a documentary, you need to perform Harikatha. I said, okay. And then I went back to play cricket. So that's how Harikatha happened. And then he told me this is how it was because it is Naradiya Parampara, where I see Harikatha again. I'll tell you how inspirations work.
Sure.
My kind of Harikatha is classical Michael Jackson.
Classical Michael Jackson. Wow.
Because I'm singing, dancing, speaking all at once.
Yeah.
So somewhere I wanted to... it's a
blend of senses.
Mother of all art forms.
Yeah.
So the most challenging art form that I have ever tried my hands on is Harikatha. To answer your question.
I think it's also time to now ask then, do we choose our art forms or do art forms choose us?
Art forms choose us. Very sure. Art forms choose us.
Yeah?
Yeah, Harikatha, as I told you, I didn't choose Harikatha. I just told you the story. Even Kathak for that matter, I didn't choose it.
But I really don't get it. I mean, how does it even work? How does... I know there are deeper answers to this, but... You know, in Western terms, they say, you don't choose the dream chooses you.
Okay.
Right? And sometimes, now even in your case, now you said, no, I wanted to learn hip-hop. This is what I want to do. That is what I wanted to do. And maybe someone said, hey, you know what, you have to go to these classes. But maybe someone put you in that class, but you stayed in the class.
Yes.
The staying part came from within. Correct. Nobody can make you want
True.
wanted, right?
Yes.
It's
You need
very
to be-
natural. It's very natural. What do you like about Kathak today?
Kathak, I'll tell you what I
does
don't
it
like
make you
about
feel?
Kathak.
You know what you don't like? Okay.
Yeah. So Kathak, see, Katha kahe so Kathak kahave. Kathak
Okay.
it's a beautiful art form where the dancer is not viewed separately from the art form. Katha kahe so Kathak kahave or Kathik kahave. The one who tells story becomes Kathak. It's a temple tradition. Kathakars, yaha kathayati saha kathakaha. So the one who tells the story becomes Kathak. So he's the Kathakar. So from a storytelling art form, they thought, okay, with story, let me add some music to it. It will be more interesting. So they added music to it. They thought, okay, let me add some footwork to it. Let me do some abhinaya with it. They started doing it. So people started liking it. And finally unfortunately, from temples, it went on to the courts. King ಮುಂದೆ salami ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮಾಡೋ ಥರ ಆಯಿತು. But the
I
thing
like
that...
how you said unfortunately.
Unfortunate. It was very unfortunate. But of course, we've got a lot from Persian music also.
Yes.
But unfortunate because the way the dancers were treated.
Yeah, that's
So Kathakal, what I don't like now is the storytelling art form has diminished. The mother, the source has been forgotten. It has become a mere mathematical form, very calculation based.
What do you mean?
So for example, ivaga nanu there is dha dhin dha dhin dha tin ka tin na kೃತ dhin da hingena bartade tat tat the tigda tigda the tat tat the tigda tigda the ta the tarate a the tarate te tate tate te te tat tat te tai 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 tat tat te tai 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 tat tat te tat tai tat tai tat tai. So you create a composition. ಆ ಕಾಂಪೋಸಿಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನಾನು ಅದೆಷ್ಟು ಮ್ಯಾಥಮೆಟಿಕಲ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬ್ಯೂಟಿಫುಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅನ್ನೋದಷ್ಟೇ ಇವಾಗ. So the purpose now, ambition is to create more mathematical, circus like very difficult compositions that are very, for example, now if I have to give you an example, I have composed a kavit. Okay, this I did on Akshaya Tritiya. So I was just, I was like, okay, Akshaya Tritiya, it just came to me. I was like, okay, it is like, da tin katin tin na kritakta dhin kadhin din na Krishna Shama Sundar Natvar Chanchal Chitta Japita Pitambar Dar Shanka Chakra Ko Modaki Karper Bhajati Nupura Tataya Tigdatik Tramte Tigdatik Tramte Tigdatik Tam Sumati Pradayaka Sakasukadayaka Sukagavahana Rasika Priyakara Bhakta Manohara Karuna Sagar Akshaya Hari Akshaya Nyari Dhatit Dhana Tit Dhagitit Katanada Dhagitit Katanada Dhagitit Katanada Dhatit dhana tit dhagitit katanada dhagitit katanada dhagitit katanada dhatit dhana tit dhagitit katanada dhagitit katanada dhagitit katanada din din. So a calculation base. So idralli I thought this is there in Kathak Parampara. So I'm actually involved and invested in bringing that back, that Katha tradition. Because ee kavitali Krishna Shama Sundara Natavara Chanchala Chitta Japita Pitambaradara Shanka Chakra Ko Modaki Karapar. Idralli Akshaya Tritiya jote Krishnadon story helbeku, avara like Krishna's description, these things. So storytelling has to be there. But the only thing is it has become a mere class mathematical dance form. Yeah. But so otherwise everything else is beautiful.
Is it then right to say the intention has changed?
Intention has changed for claps.
That's what it is. So it's like so in fact when I was there at Divya's Kathak show, maybe that was my first ever Kathak show I watched at that scale. So I was really mesmerized, right? And then I was trying to, in how much of a knowledge I have of Kathak, I was trying to understand, what is actually happening on stage and what she's trying to do. And then from the language and from the art form, what I could feel is, at one point this wasn't done for performance. This was done as an expression.
Correct.
Or this was done as a meditation.
True.
Also it was done as an appreciation to your faith, right?
Correct.
In whom you place your faith.
Correct.
This is a way of expression and appreciation and respect that you are showcasing. But while you perform that appreciation, people are,
of course, they are also being a part of it,
watching and being a part of it. So the intention was that, but now it is merely
applause.
So
That is
then,
true. That is
I
true.
think that's what you meant.
Yeah. That is
By
the
this.
only thing that I don't like about Kathak. But all the mathematical calculations that I just told you,
Okay.
they are also very beautiful.
Yeah.
Mind-boggling, and I love doing that. I keep on doing that on a daily basis. I keep composing new things, and I enjoy doing that.
Will you get a lot of hate for what you said?
Probably, I don't know.
Because I just realized.
But I think I shifted to Kannada there very smartly. So
Nice. Anyway, so we were talking about what art form really made you feel alive. You started with Kathak, and then you said, this is Harikatha, where it's really where the ball is stopped.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So right now, what's going on, and right now, what is it that you want to do with Harikatha going forward?
So I've trying to bring back the actual tradition of dancing, speaking, interacting with people. And for my Harikathas, I've made it a point that I don't follow a script. I want to do it on the spot.
Okay.
So I have the story in my mind. I practice the songs. Music is done. But whatever I say on the stage, on the spot. Because Bharatiya, any art forms of India, they are all ashu, spontaneous.
Okay.
So I want to respect that, and I'm trying very hard to activate my intuition, to just go out there and say whatever comes to my mind and still be sensible, still not think and talk. To bring that out. One is that. Second, of course, I'm trying to incorporate Sanskrit into it mostly.
Sure.
And experimenting a lot with gadyas, which are like rap and in Harikatha, and to tell our people that these things have been done in our parampara long back, even before any civilization took birth. And apart from that, I'm also thinking of creating more technological experience to people. So
One of a concept show.
Concept shows, yeah. So also have. So yeah, I'm doing something called Harikatha. Like Harikatha, Hurry Harikatha. Quickly, I need to give them like shots. So I pick up very interesting stories and tell them like this happened, that happened. So in like 1 minute's reel. So those things. And I want to do experiments like Harikatha, Harry Potter, and Harikatha, and bring in symphony music to Harikatha. Have violin segments, have piano, and create these things, and it's there.
There's immense amount of ideas. How's your professional relationship with your father? How is he looked at? How did he look at your art, and what did he tell you to look at art as?
See, he's the coolest man I've ever seen. So he's cooler than me. Very, very. It's very sad that I'm saying this, but he's cooler than me. But anyway, he's very happy that I've taken up this, but he's very unhappy that my livelihood depends on this. He's unhappy because he's been an artist. He has been an artist all through, and he has seen he knows the negative side. Yeah, so he believes that Saraswati Lakshmi can't stay in the same spot. So he says you need to have something else for your life. And
why is that though?
Because see, his way of thinking, as I told you, experience, like he has been beaten in life many times. Because the only thing,
Saraswati and Lakshmi can't stay in the same spot. Why do you think he says that?
Because somewhere, I don't know, we've been cultured, influenced in a way that, see, all the people who seek knowledge, I don't know why, but they don't seek money, they don't seek wealth. And that's actively.
Yeah.
I mean, consciously, and also they don't. For example, even in my case, I don't make an effort. If there is a project that I take up, I don't talk money. I don't think money there. I only think about the content. I only think about the work that I'll get to do. That's how I've been conditioned. So somewhere deep down, even I know that's not practical in life. And this is what he's been telling me all these years. And he says, like, you need to be financially so strong that you can be happy in life. And art should be just another aspect of your life. It should be your hobby and not your life itself.
Not your life itself. Wow,
yeah,
this is
but the way I think is
different. Now life is thrown.
Yeah. But the way I think is totally different. So I tell him, yes, I want to earn money. Yes, financial stability is important, but I want to earn money so that I don't compromise on the quality of art.
Oh, superb.
So this is how I think. I don't know. My life revolves around art, and I'm very happy with this. Adarsh, I'm extremely happy being an artist. I know the downsides. I know the negatives of it, but in spite of that, the positives are so heavy. I don't want to weigh the negatives.
Yeah, I think once you walk down the path of saying, you know what, I want my life to be surrounded by art and surrounded by things that are made for me, you can't live any other way.
Correct.
That's also the other problem, no? You can't really, your brain doesn't function.
Correct.
Like
That's what
that
conditioning.
It's conditioning, right? You're already conditioned. So, I think that's more out of like a care of a father.
Correct.
Maybe if someone really digs deep into his heart.
No. I told you, he's very proud. see, I'll tell you what. My work in a corporate cannot make me meet Amir Khan and Amir Khan appreciating our
Congrats
work.
on that.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, congrats on that. Yeah.
So, or my work will not make me, like normal job, like a 9 to 6 job will not make me meet people like Upendra and discuss subjects and like wide array of like host of different achievers in life. So somewhere I know that, like I know very, very strongly know that he's very proud and happy about this. The only thing that he tells me is this: money has to be taken care of. It's very, very important, because he was like, I have made that mistake and I don't want you to make the same mistake. But my life is different. My brother is still working. My sister-in-law, my bhabhi, is extremely, she's very nice, and she takes good care of the family, and she's like the binding agent in our family, and then they are there to support us, and I'm also doing well, touch wood, financially also. So yeah, there is nothing to, I don't want to pause or give another thought that would stop me.
Yeah. And I have another question about your father, but side question, you said touch wood. You believe in that?
No. No, I don't believe in that. See, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you why I do it. It has become a habit.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking. I know more, even myself, now I've conditioned myself to stop saying it, because at one point I realized, boss, what is this touch wood?
Yeah.
Everyone just everywhere is saying touch wood, right?
It's unnecessary. Somewhere we are scared. Probably people are going to, oh, look at it, nazar bidbidutte anta, kannak pudtare, drushti pudtare anta.
So no, I really enjoy this topic. So I'll ask you a few things.
Okay.
I've discussed this in detail with people.
Okay.
And I feel it's interesting to speak about it with you. So let's start with touch wood, right? So saying touch wood in the context that you said it was more of, hey, you know what, I don't want anything wrong to happen.
Yes.
Or we're saying someone's bad eye should not fall on it. So then my first thing was I don't want to give the power to feel. I don't want to give that power to someone else, first of all.
To control my life.
Yeah, to control my life.
Yeah.
So then I consciously made that change. And then I'm stopping to say this touch wood. And then the other thing, now, I don't know if it's related, but these things were related in my head. Like the other thing was, if I touch my feet by chance to you, and this is something you'll have your...
Yeah, I do that too.
Right? Yeah, so tell me about that. Why do you believe in that? Like if my feet touch you, and I completely respect people's opinions on this, but I really want to say it out loud. If my feet touches your feet, I may not do this, but have the same intention. I may say sorry, or I may not even say sorry, but I have the same intention about what you feel while you do the action, right? But I don't feel like doing the action.
That's okay, I think.
So what do you feel about that?
No, that's absolutely fine. If you don't do the action, it's okay. Again, this is more like a muscle memory that I have. If I touch your feet, like with my feet, if I touch you, I very like immediately I do this.
Yeah.
Because that's more like a muscle memory. That's my way of showing you respect. One. And another thing is seeing divine in every creature. Not just you. If I let's say if by chance our feet come in contact with like a book or something that is worship worthy,
Yeah.
We do that also with that book or any object for that matter. So that's, I think, just showing respect and respecting the divinity in it.
So I like that. Okay, so I think I really like that. In fact, I respect that definition. What I don't like is people are against people who don't do it. There are enough people who take it to heart. Like there are people in the family that if I kick something by mistake and I just walk past without acknowledging that, they get furious. You can't do that. And I don't know. I'm a nice guy. I really don't wish bad for anything. In fact, I'll take it one level deeper.
Okay.
I'm paraphrasing this story, but another story on the same lines which had caught my eye. So there's this man who owns a temple.
Okay.
And during the afternoon, he takes a nap. So this is in the middle of a hill, right? And there's this guy who finds this temple. He was on his journey somewhere, but spots this temple in the middle of the hills. Says, "Oh, this is good. I can go and pay my respects." So he goes, but it's afternoon time, which means the person has slept. It's his afternoon time. He takes a nap. But when this man enters the temple, this guy is slept with his feet on the idol of the god.
Okay.
Kept his feet on the idol of the god and he slept. So this man who visits the temple really gets furious. Right? He really starts screaming, wakes him up, tells him, "Who are you? What is wrong with you? How dare you keep your legs on, the idol of the god?" He says, "First of all, this is my place. And if I want to keep my feet on the idol, I can keep my feet on the idol. It doesn't mean anything. Why are you so angry about it?" And I don't know where I'd heard this story, but I'd heard it and I said, wow, what a food for thought. Because the man who runs the temple, who owns the temple, truly believes there's nothing wrong with it and he pays his respects every single day. But the man who's just visiting, for him, this is real sin. So, what do you say about it? Who's right, who's wrong here in this story?
See, more than right or wrong, it's about, for example, we own our houses. Right?
Yeah.
Like I own my house, let's say. There is kitchen, there is bathroom. If I say, this is my house, I'll go take bath in my kitchen or I'll excrete in my kitchen. What do you call that? So it's my house. I've been living in that house, and this kitchen belongs to me. This bathroom also belongs to me. So there is something called common sense. So which is beyond your rituals and all these things. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I cannot speak for the priest in this case, because there's another story which comes in Shiva Purana where there's this bhakta of Shiva, just again digressing it, but he visits because this bhakta has an arrogance of which has taken birth, sprouted because of his bhakti.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, for Shiva. So
spiritual arrogance. Guru calls it.
Yeah, spiritual arrogance. So he goes to the temple and he finds this old man lying on the floor, and he has placed his legs on Shiva Linga.
Oh wow! Okay.
And then he tells him, "Are you crazy? You've kept your feet on Shiva Linga. Remove that leg. Get up." So he's like, "No, I'm very old. I can't move. Can you please shift my leg to somewhere else?" So this was like, okay, fine. Then he lifts the legs and he tries to shift his legs. The minute he tries to keep it down, there's another Shiva Linga that comes. So ultimately, so ultimately he realizes that this spiritual ego that he has, arrogance he has, and that it is said that person, that old man, is Shiva himself. So I thought when you told this story, I was like, okay, I was thinking about that story, but then this is anyway.
Very interesting. Anyway, now we'll come back to the topic we were speaking about. When Upendra sir was there at your show, and in that video, I think you and your father are on stage.
On stage. Dad was also on stage. My brother is also on stage.
In that video. So, how does it feel performing with your dad on stage?
Oh yeah. My father doesn't perform anymore. So he's retired. So he's always been a director
Okay.
than an actor or an artist
But
performer.
amidst him, how does it feel?
Oh, it's fantastic. It is, see, to
You're
have
not tensed and worried about his judgment.
it's a strength that I have. My father, my mother, when they're there in the auditorium, it's strength for us.
Okay.
You know, their years of experience and that wisdom, it's a strength for us.
So there's no nervousness around your
No, not at all.
father. and
Not at all.
How he's going to look at you. But does he give criticism?
Oh yeah, a lot.
Yeah.
Oh,
Is it?
Oh yeah, he insults me.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So he's like that. I mean, I enjoy that because see, when there is creativity, when people insult you, you should just enjoy it.
Sure.
So he insults when I compose something. I go and I share it with him, my brother, my mother, and so I composed a theme music for my first production, one of my earlier productions, and I went and I sang this. See, this is how it is. What do you think? Then my father stood up and he started doing aerobics. He said, "Your music suits this." So,
Oh my
he's,
God.
yeah, he's that way. He's savage that way, but I enjoy that. You know, I laugh at such things, and I think it is needed. Somewhere, as artists, especially athletes or artists, people who are living a public life, we create a bubble for ourselves. We think that we are immune. We shouldn't be. The people should not speak such things about us. People always should like our work. People should always appreciate us. I think that should not be the case. So initially, to have such, you know, your close group, your own people, if they make fun of your work or you, I think that's a boon. Makes you very strong and solid. Like you can march ahead.
Then nobody's opinions are going to come in the way.
Yeah,
You'll keep
it doesn't
working
matter.
on-
It doesn't matter anymore.
For a family that is so inspired by art and so involved in art, and the way you've spoken about art, in the heart, what is the final destination? Like, if I asked your father, why do you do what you do? Now, you told me very clearly he's dedicated his life around art, right? Into art. If I ask your father, why do you do what you do? Is the final destination service to God? Is the final destination happiness? Is the final destination success? Is the final destination dharma? What is your father going to say if I asked him that question? Like, where is this art leading to?
I think he'll complicate this.
Okay.
But if you ask me, I think it's just rasa.
What is that?
Rasa is the truest sense of surreal bliss that you experience. See, with art, be it literature, poetry, or whatever, there is when you read a good poetry, you have that beautiful poetry. When you listen to some tune that is very very inspiring and very that can make you escape this reality. That escaping from reality is rasa. You know, you're watching a movie. Let's say you're watching a movie, and for example, in my production 18 Days, people watch Abhimanyu being killed, stabbed, and by all the Sapta Maharathi. So in the inner disc, Abhimanyu will be in pain. Actual story is Abhimanyu was slaughtered. Okay, so like every single drop of his blood was taken out of his body. That's how he was killed. This is very, very brutal. Okay, as people, if we think about it, it's very brutal. But when you watch it, you enjoy watching it. Why is that?
No idea.
So that is, you're distancing yourself from what is happening, but still you're involved. See, you cry, you might shed tears, but you'll feel happy about shedding tears.
Yeah.
Because that episode made you shed tears. That episode moved you. And that means that artist is successful and also the audience is successful.
Wow.
So art ultimately boils down to this, that am I feeling that rasa? Every time I listen, see, it's the same Yaman Raga, it's the same Kalyani Raga I sing every day, let's say. I sing that for the next 30 years. But still every day I find a new note, every day I find a new phrase, every day I find a new rasa, some kick in it. So I think that is the purpose of art, which is beyond divine, which is beyond dharma, which is beyond anything for that matter, beyond existence.
I've never heard someone say this. It's usually the other options.
Yeah.
So you're the first one who said this. What has been your best performance? What has been your best event till date, which you feel this was?
I've not had such an experience in dance or music,
Okay.
but Harikatha I had a very satiating experience in Melkote.
Okay.
Thousand
What about
year,
it stood out?
I don't know. I'll tell you. There's a very interesting story. Thousand year anniversary of Ramanujacharya. So I was invited to Melkote to perform Harikatha on Ramanujacharya, his life.
Beautiful.
So
What an opportunity.
whoa, yeah,
Amazing.
So, I was performing Harikatha because mostly I don't understand tea in Tamil. So a lot of his works were spoken about that day, and I was performing. And there is one sequence where he looks for his server Narayana. He goes to a palace and he says to a Muslim king that his Narayana has been kept in his house, this king's house. So this king says, no, I've plundered everywhere. I've taken all the idols. I don't know which idol you're talking about. So Ramanujacharya says, you please take me there. I'll find. So he goes to the place, and then he sees that like host of idols that have been plundered, looted by this king. Then he sits, he meditates, he says, Sarva Pille Iyengar. He taps his thigh and he says, Wang. He says in Tamil, Wango, something he calls. So it says in the story that that idol hopped and came and sat on his lap. And then he took the same idol and he installed that idol. So I was narrating this. Okay, even today in Melkote, they do that. They have that system. They carry the palanquin, they hop and go.
Oh.
So they still do that. So I was narrating this story. Okay, I was narrating this story. I was on the stage and I could see like thousands of people there, and all of a sudden, like out of the blue, there was this palanquin coming between us. I was narrating the story and the palanquin came in between us. They asked us to stop Harikatha because they were taking this procession ahead. And it was goosebumping for me as well. I was like, I'm narrating the same story and I see this like an idol pass. And that Harikatha was something. That experience that I had was something else. And if you ask me, that is the only show where I have felt like really grateful from the depth of my soul. So apart from that, every other performance has been, fun and very happy, very delightful.
How does your father look at that happening?
I think my mother and father, I think they cried. That entire trip, our way back to Bangalore from Melkote, that our entire family had gone for this performance because it was very special. So my entire family, we had booked a bus and we had gone. So on our way back, we all spoke about this. I don't know. That was an experience that I can't comprehend.
Yeah. It also explains that a lot of what we've read about and learned about, a lot of it is true as well. And some people and some incidents just give you a glimpse into a realm that you don't get a chance every single day. Anyway, nice. I'm glad I asked you that question.
I've never mentioned this to anyone before.
Wow.
In a way, your question reminded me of that episode.
Glad. So let's talk about a few other topics that are maybe a little deeper, and maybe I can just get your 2 cents on some of these topics. Let's start with something you spoke about, which was karma. We'll start with that. Yeah, what is your view on karma, and how would you explain it to a layman?
Karma is, Krishna says karma, without doing anything, you'll still do karma. So karma, I think, is what is guiding us. We are born in a family because of our karma. We experience happiness because of our karma. We experience problems or health issues or disappointments because of karma. See, that is the only possible explanation that you have.
Yeah.
Why is someone born without eyes? Why is someone born as a son of Ambani? What is the reason? So that's the only possible explanation. That karma is guiding us, and it is true. Karma is guiding us, and it is absolutely true. And I'm a devotee of Krishna, and I very thoroughly follow him. his teachings. So off late, when I say off late, from a decade, I've been very conscious about not thinking about the result much. Just investing my spirit, my energies, everything into that work. And the amount of disappointment has gone down.
Disappointment in?
Of not getting the expected outcome.
Okay.
This I can say with authority. Because I have done it and I've experienced it. I don't feel so sad about not getting that expected outcome. But the process has to be extremely enjoyable. So that is what karma theory is all about. So
do you ever leave the outcome?
Yeah. See, that is not possible. For a mere human, it is not possible. It's very easy to say, but to practice, it's very difficult. But somewhere deep, like when you keep doing this, when you keep moving ahead in life, see, while we are talking, this is also karma. We're exchanging our thoughts. This is also karma. And there is something out of this. So there is a podcast coming out of this. There is a result to this. Like, are people going to like this episode? That is not in our hands.
We don't know.
So let us not bother about that. Let us just share our experience, our thoughts. So this is karma. So I believe in this now, that there is hardly anything which is under our control, and very few things seem like they are under our control. And if those things seem like they are under our control, let us take the control. That karma is that. We think. We think we are again in a way. It's delusional. We are also, there's this illusion that we think we are doing it. Karma also.
Yeah.
This bubble is also beautiful. And I think we should, if we think that we are doing it, okay, then grab onto it, just do it. Don't worry about the result. But again, there should be, this karma should always be guided by the dharma prajna.
What does that mean?
For example, if see, there are two phases to it. One, if there is someone who says, everything is done by the divine, who am I? He might commit a murder or some crime. I have not done it. He is the one who's doing it. I'm a mere instrument. Second thing, karma is under my control. He has given me this work. Let me do it properly with complete shraddha, devotion, and all that. Two things. Both things. The second one is better if it is guarded by dharma. Okay, so dharma has to be, dharma prajna dharma is not some like a list of norms that remain static. Dharma is something that keeps changing. Today I might tell you that that we should not be doing this. Like if you ask me something like about something, I'll say no, don't lie. Today I might tell you that if you ask me for my suggestion, should I say this? It's not true. I would say don't do it. But tomorrow I might lie because that situation will demand it. For a greater good, I might lie. Ashvatthama hata kunjaraha. So for a greater good, Krishna made Yudhishthira alive. So that dharma prajna has to be very intact. If that dharma prajna is intact, then your karma is enjoyable because you're not worried about the result. You know that you're doing this for a greater good. And that is the reason in dharma, in the Chaturveda Purushartha, dharma, artha, kama, moksha, dharma and moksha are guided. They are the ends. Kama and artha should be between these two.
Oh, beautiful.
So that is the framework. Your kama, desire, or artha. Artha is simply doing work. Artha is possession, artha is doing work, everything. So this kama and artha, desire and artha should be guided by dharma and moksha. If it is guided by dharma, then you will attain moksha.
So beautiful.
That is the meaning to it. And that is what I recently shared this Harikatha also a bit.
Okay.
So we see this the picture of Vishnu, Mahavishnu and Lakshmi Devi massaging his feet. What is the significance behind this? So Tosha and Tushti. Tosha is Santosha, happy. Tushti is satisfaction. These two are the children of Manmatha. Manmatha is called Kamadeva, Lord of Desires, and he is married to Rati Devi, meaning enjoyment. Okay, so Manmatha and Rati give birth to happiness and Ananda, satisfaction.
Wow.
Manmatha Kama, Rati Devi, enjoyment. Who are the parents of Manmatha? Vishnu and Lakshmi.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay, Lakshmi Devi, we all know that she is the goddess of wealth. But why is this goddess of wealth massaging the feet of Vishnu? Vishnu is Dharma Rupa. So Dharma, wealth should always be Dharma Adhina. Wealth should always be guided by Dharma. And if wealth is guided by Dharma, then you will have dharmic desires, that is Manmatha, with which comes enjoyment, with which comes happiness and satisfaction ultimately.
Wow. Very nice. Very nice. Very wholesome. So for me, I think a lot of philosophy didn't come from religion. I think it came from
Philosophy doesn't come from religion also.
I mean, I don't want to state my opinion on
Yes.
that. But currently, I think the philosopher that I've been able to connect with is Alan Walker.
Okay.
Sorry, Alan Watts. Alan Walker.
I have not heard of. Yeah.
ये edit कर दे. Alan Watts. Alan Watts.
I've not heard of him. Yeah.
Yeah, not an issue. So when he speaks about Buddhism, he speaks about this dilemma, right, between the Guru and the Shishya, where the Guru says, you don't need to chase. Right? Stop chasing. You don't need to chase enlightenment. You don't need to chase nirvana. This and that. And then the Shishya says, okay, I'm not going to chase. Then the Guru says, don't desire anything. He says, yes, I'm not going to desire. And then the Shishya gets caught in a loop. Basically, you're desiring not to desire. Okay, you're desiring not to desire. So then now we'll keep that on this side. Now on the other side, we're speaking about karma.
Okay.
Right? Because of the, I don't know, maybe it's been around. Now I feel a lot of people have lot of opinions on karma now.
Okay.
Lot of opinions about karma. Karma is like such a...
Karma has become a bitch.
Yeah. Become a bitch. Huh? Okay, I thought it always was. That's what people used to say. But anyway, so all these conversations about karma, right? I think it started with that phrase, karma is a bitch.
Correct.
Right? It started with that phrase, and people are talking about karma now. This Sadhguru's book became so huge around karma. It's become a popular topic. Now every third person I see is talking about karma and is also saying, hey, you know what, I want to finish up my karma.
Okay.
Everyone's talking about this. Every spiritually inclined person I meet is now saying, listen, boss, I'm here to finish my karma. I'm like, how did everyone advance like this? Now suddenly everyone's behaving, at least in the people I know, that boss, in this lifetime I'm going to finish up my karma and I'm done. First of all, yeah, I don't know. I wanted to ask you what you think about this, because I feel like obviously everyone has their own
Correct.
timelines, right? Some people have assumed I can exit right now. I don't know if that's possible. That's my first thing. Second, why I'm relating these two things about the desiring of no desire and the karma is again going back to that very specific thing we spoke about before we started. I don't think we get to choose these things.
Correct.
I don't think we choose how many lives we are here or how fast we are getting done with this. I don't even know, like they talk about this past life karma, right? I don't know if past life karma is really in our hands to solve for. So, just
See,
put so many thoughts in front of you, please.
Yeah, so two things. One, to finish off, to empty our karma. Again, it's not in our hands. So we might start doing it. Maybe if we start doing it now, after like 1,000 or 2,000 births, we might be able to empty our karma. But that is the first aspect. I mean, I think people are like, there's this whole new group, whole new generation which is talking about emptying karma, is because karma became a bitch. Because the Westerners started adapting this. Every time we see someone, a white-skinned person, adapt her things, so we get lured, we get attracted, and people have started believing that. Anyway, that is one side of the story. Second side, can we change our karma? See, there are three types of karma. One is Sanchita, Prarabdha, and Agami. Three types. Sanchita karma, Prarabdha karma, Agami karma. Agami is something that is going to come. Prarabdha karma is from your past. Sanchita is also that you have accrued over many years now. But prarabdha is something that cannot be altered, is what learned people say. Prarabdha karma is, sometimes you do a lot of them keep telling this, right? I do puja part, I chant 1008 gayatris every day, I do this, I do that, still bad things are happening to me.
Yeah.
Or maybe like this person everyone in his family has fallen sick and he's not able to find a solution. So these things, they all come back to prarabdha karma. And there are ways, again, I don't know if we should touch the topic of astrology. There are people who can tell us, guide us with a few techniques that these issues are there in your life, and if you address them, probably your way ahead will be smoother.
Easier.
Yeah. So karma is, as I told you, Agami, whatever you do from now on can be in your hands, like consciously.
Conscious.
But the ones that have happened before, you have to go through.
So you do believe in reincarnation then?
Yeah, I do believe in it.
You believe in reincarnation? One of the books, and again the book was gifted by Deepika on my birthday. She said, you read this, it was many lives, many masters, many lives, it's called. And the book is about, I'm halfway through it, but till now what I've seen is there's a therapist and there's a patient, and in the hypnosis, in the treatment of depression through hypnosis, from the therapist to the patient, in those sessions the patient speaks about, gets into trance states, where the patient starts speaking about past life, where she was, what things have happened, and this and that. And through those stories, I also read in the book that a lot of your family members have been your family members, but they've shared a different relationship with you. Right? Maybe your closest friend was your father. Maybe your closest friend was your brother. Must be very real. Do you think these are chances?
Possible, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Possible.
And it's so crazy how family members may actually continue to be your family members.
Possible. If they're too attached to you, this is what a lot of them have told me, that if let's say you're too attached to your family members, your soul finds a reason to take birth in the same family again. This is what I've been told. See, I don't know. I'm not a subject matter expert. I can't speak.
No
So whatever has come my way, I'm just sharing that, throwing those same things at you. So this is what I have heard. Of course, I have not experienced anything in person. I've not seen people do hypnosis, and I've not experienced all those things. Astrology, however, is something that I have experienced, and I'm an ardent follower now. It's very interesting. I get very curious to know if, to know someone, if you get to know about their date of birth or time of birth, or if you see their chart, with their permission, of course. If you do that, in a way, like, there is a possibility for you to understand that person's nature. If this person, and you'll also know if this person is qualified enough for you to have a partnership with them. If you're, so does this person lie a lot? Is it reliable or not? So these things could be understood. These things could be ascertained with the chart. So I have seen a few experiments, and I've seen results from that. So this is one area where I can say that I have experienced, but apart from that, any other area I have not.
No, I mean, I was just trying to get an opinion from you. So that's pretty much it. So now coming to the astrology bit, right, without getting into too much of detail. So Sharat did mention that there's a phase of his life where he was told by a certain someone that you might have a medical condition, and which he didn't believe. But fast forward in time, it did happen that this medical condition came true, and it affected him the way that this certain someone had told him that it'll affect him. So made him curious to find out more, go back and speak to him about it, and all of that. I think that's where your journey of being not just being curious, but following astrology,
becoming a student of astrology,
in a way happened for you. So this today, how do you look at astrology? Does astrology guide your day to day? Does astrology guide your decisions?
No. See, astrology is like a milestone. Like, for example, if you have to go to Mysore, you have a milestone which says, like, let's say 200 kilometers from here, 150 kilometers from here, and you have to take this road for this. This is the route. But you are the one who's driving it. Do you want to take a bus? Do you want to walk? Do you want to drive your car? You want to listen to music while you're driving your car? You want to turn on the AC or not? Do you want to have your partner along with you, or you want to travel with your friends? That's your decision. Are you going to make it a wholesome experience the entire journey? That's in your hands. I think I limit astrology to that. When you're stuck somewhere, when you think that physically it's not working out for you, I sometimes feel, okay, probably there is something beyond physical that I'm missing out here. That is when I revisit. I see, okay, is there an issue? If there is any issue, then work a little more to clear that. It's hardly anything. Like, you have to do some chants or some very, very easy things. You might see, the thing is, the funny aspect is, when you hear these solutions,
okay,
you laugh. Like, okay, by doing this, how is my problem going to get fixed?
Okay.
I have done
very random
and it has nothing to do with the problem that you're going through. But it finds its ways to find a solution in your life, and it has happened with me. See, again, I am not someone who will be. I'm not someone to speak in favor of astrology or profess it in a way. I don't want to do that because that's not my subject again. But yes, I have experienced silly things they tell, which seem silly, but you do it with faith or without faith, it will still work out for you. I have done without faith.
Really?
Yeah, it has worked out for me.
Without faith?
Without faith, initially. I told you the story, off record.
Yeah. But doesn't it, like, now, that's the problem. Like, once you go down. So, then you also believe in, like, Vastu?
Vastu, yeah. Vastu is scientific. It's very scientific, no?
Vastu is scientific,
extremely scientific. Yeah, north or east.
I like this
of
topic.
Course.
I really like that.
I'll tell you why. Because north or east, you need to have the door.
Okay.
Because sun is powerful. He rises from the east. Okay. It's only for light and ventilation. Vastu is purely done for architecture. It's very scientific that way. Again, I have not delved too much into Vastu.
Okay.
A bit of astrology, yes. Vastu not too much, but Vastu I find pure science there, because all the architects these days, they consider Vastu, because when they are considering Vastu, their designs are automatically they're better. This I'm seeing, an architect told me this. He told me when he considers Vastu, he gets better ideas and the design is good. It sits in place.
Wow. Okay. So we opened up two big topics.
Yeah.
Astrology and Vastu. So I'm like,
yeah.
So we'll go back to astrology. Yeah, I'm motivated about both. We'll start with astrology. So astrology, now the problem I find is people are, once they get into it, they let it get in too much.
Correct.
Now that's my problem. And that's what I'm also scared of astrology. True. If I allow it too much inside,
it becomes an addiction, and you could, in a way you're handcuffed. I've seen that in many people. So that is one negative aspect of that. But again, that is person specific, no? Like, not everyone is like that. I believe in.
So you're saying you're able to keep that?
Yeah, I've kept the distance. See, Phala Jyotisha, that is the problem with Phala Jyotisha. There are people who read the newspaper every day. What is there for Libra? What is there for Scorpion? This is the issue. Okay, so you can't place every step thinking where is sun, where is moon, where is Mars. You can't lead your life like that. As I told you, when you think that things have gone beyond your control, when you have done everything possible physically or in every aspect that is under your control, in spite of that you're not seeing some ray of hope or light, that is when you should look at it. Only if you believe in it. That's also, that is in bold. If you believe in it, do it. Otherwise, nobody's forcing that on you.
So, very, very general question, but how do you think it actually works? Why do you think astrology works?
See, I think everything around us has a bearing on us.
Okay.
The sun has a bearing on us, moon has a bearing on us. So the placement of these planets, all the planets, everything that is there in this creation has a bearing on us.
Okay.
So this bearing will be controlling. See, we know that the tides go up and during Amavasya and also during Hunnime. someone told me this, some astrologer, like 70% of our body is made of water, and there is shift in the levels of water also when there is new moon and full moon.
Planetary
Yeah,
movements,
yeah. So I was like, okay. But I strongly feel there are influences that are there in our life. And I totally believe that every single, like, people around us, they have an influence on us. Okay, we might take it in or not, but they do have an influence on us. We are driving our car, but there is a signal that will stop us. There are people, there is traffic that is going to stop us. There is an influence on us. Similarly, in life, there are influences which are tangible and intangible. And you can either accept it or not accept it. If you don't accept it, you'll find other ways. You'll give other reasons that this is the reason it's not working out for me. If you accept it, you finally have another reason, and you try to do something about it. If you don't accept it, you'll find another reason, give birth to another reason, and you try to find a solution for it. Either ways, you are stupid. So,
I didn't see that.
yeah. So,
So is it now for you? Now in your case, you said you know where to keep it.
Yeah.
So you're saying you like really big issues.
yeah, if it is important, then I do it. Then I do it. It's not on a daily basis.
Okay. Can astrology predict marriage?
It can.
Really?
It can. Of course, it can. It can.
I should
Are you not
really,
married?
No. That's why I'm asking if.
No, even I'm not married. Because I've seen
Have
my
you
chart.
asked an astrologer? What really? I'm not going to ask you to reveal your chart information
I'm
here.
that was just a
But
joke.
have you asked an astrologer about it?
No, of course. Astrology tells you about marriage. If I don't know about date and all that.
Okay.
Like you're going to get married in 2025 and 26. I don't know about all that. I think they speak about that based on the Guru Bala, but or the shift in the 7th house or whatever. But of course, it can tell you about your marriage.
Yeah. Can astrology also tell you if you're going to have multiple marriages?
It can.
Yeah.
It can.
Tell a lot of
It can. If you have afflictions, yes, you'll have that issue.
tell about your wealth chart.
Yeah, of course.
A lot. If you have in the future, is there a danger that's going to happen to you? Say probably in this year you need to be a little more careful with all of that. And one of it was true in my story, which we can.
Yeah. No, it is true. See, these are indications. This is how this might happen. It's a both a possibility and also a probability. So you can either wear a helmet and go, or you're like, no, I'm strong, and then go and bang into another vehicle. That's left to you.
Yeah, I think astrology is interesting.
Very
I do
interesting.
feel. I think what I could connect with, or what I would agree with more than anything else in what you said, was everything around us has an impact on us.
Yeah, of course.
Right, there has to be. It's almost a scientific connection that you have with some of these things.
Correct.
And I'm sure they influence energies, right? Everything is energy at the end of the day. I'm sure they influence energies, and in terms of how we were born, at what time we were born, there is a certain way our energy works, and there's certain powers that we are able to connect with, and maybe that's why that does make sense. Just a little about Vastu, and then we'll move towards the end of this conversation. I had a few more things. Vastu, everyone doesn't have an option. That's my only thing, right? Like everyone doesn't have an option to
to face north or east. I know that.
Yeah. That's my only issue with Vastu. What do you think about that? I mean,
That is
sometimes
true.
it's not in your hands.
That is correct. It's not in our hands, but still there are methods that they suggest, these experts.
Okay.
Yeah, to in a way mitigate the risk, the ill effects. There are ways to do that. Again, not my subject.
Sure.
But I've seen and heard people say that the ones who have south facing road, they shift their door to the east and somehow manage to follow Vastu.
Got it.
And a lot of them have, in my circle, a lot of them have told that after the renovation, after a small alteration, their life has changed. Maybe it's there in their mind, I don't know, but physically it has happened. I've seen such cases. So, like, I feel, who am I to question that or
question?
yeah.
Yeah, I guess that puts an end to that conversation, because I think we've all seen and heard people's lives change
Yeah.
with a very
Yeah,
small change that someone suggested.
I have just one thing.
Yeah, sure.
What are your thoughts on stones and crystals? Because we're talking somewhere
Sure,
about
sure.
Stones and crystals. See, I don't wear or do such things. Not because that I've mostly seen that those things in Feng Shui, crystals and all that. Stones, of course, gemology, and they do such things. But I don't know. I have not tried it, and numerology or these things I have not given my thought. I've not delved into such things.
Done. Can we hear something you have written? Something, if you can
Sure.
take us through a few lines, if you can just recite it, if you can take us through some of the things, yeah. And apologies if we don't completely get the meaning right away. But we can,
Okay.
yeah. Anything.
Okay, there's this. I hope I remember it. I can recall it. But a shairi that I wrote in Kannada.
Oh, superb.
Okay.
Let's hear it.
So it goes like this. ಕಂಡ ಕಂಡಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳಿದರು ಕಂಡಿಲ್ಲರೆಂದರು ನಿನ್ನಂಥ ಕೆಂದಾವರೆಯ. ಕಂಡಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳಿದರು ಕಂಡಿಲ್ಲರೆಂದರು ನಿನ್ನಂಥ ಕೆಂದಾವರೆಯ. ಕೊನೆಗೂ ಕಾಣದೆ ನಿನ್ನ ಕನವರಿಸಿದೆ ಕನಸಲ್ಲೇ ಕೆಂದಾವರೆಯ ಚೆನ್ನ. ಕೊನೆಗೂ ಕಾಣದೆ ನಿನ್ನ ಕನವರಿಸಿದೆ ಕನಸಲ್ಲೇ ಕೆಂದಾವರೆಯ ಚೆನ್ನ. ನೀ ಕಾಣದ ಕನಸು ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ದುಸ್ವಪ್ನವೇ ಲೇಸು. ನೀ ಕಾಣಿಸದ ಕನಸು ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ದುಸ್ವಪ್ನವೇ ಲೇಸು. ಹೇ ಕೆಂದಾವರೆ ನೀನರಳಲು ಸೂರ್ಯನು ಚೆಲ್ಲುವನು ಬೆಳದಿಂಗಳ ಹಾಸು.
Superb.
This was long back, yeah.
Anything else?
But the words have changed.
Yeah.
But, so that is one thing I've written, and
It was one of your favorite, maybe.
maybe, yeah, because of the time probably. So, so there's one thing very political. I don't know if I should say this.
You should.
I should. Please don't make this viral. So this I wrote in Sanskrit when the whole Kand in Maharashtra happened with this thing, Shiv Sena.
Okay.
When the government was formed. I mean, it's not nothing against them or anyone for that matter.
Sure.
So this goes like this. विदर्भ व्याघ्र बलबालात्मज शर्वसेना पतन हेतो चंद्ररहित दिनेपि पश्य एकनाथ शिरसि सरमते. Meaning, Vidarbha is in Maharashtra. Vidarbha Vyaghra Balabalaatmaja. Vyaghra, the tiger of Maharashtra, was Bala Sahib. So Balatmaja, his son. So I've called this Uddhava Gita.
Okay.
So Balabalaatmaja, like the powerful Balatmaja, son of Bala Thakre Sahib. Sharva Sena Patana Hetu, like there was a separation in Shiva Sena. Sharva is Shiva again. Chandra Somarahita Dinepi Pashya. Somarahita, it was on Amavasya, I remember.
Yeah.
This happened. So Somarahita Dinepi Pashya Ekanatha Shirasi Saharamate. So even on a day where there is no moon, you think there is no moon, but look at him. He's shining on Ekanatha's Shiras. Ekanatha here is Shiva. So the moon seems like he's not there. It's Amavasya, but then he's glowing on the head of Lord Shiva. But here, Shiva is Ekanatha Shinde.
Wow.
So you might think there is like a new moon day. It's a new moon day, but then he's still glowing.
Wow. Nice. It's not controversial.
Not controversial. Yeah.
Not controversial. So you said you're true devotee of Krishna. A few lines that stuck onto you or sticks onto you every single day about Krishna and your devotion to Krishna. Yeah.
See, there's this adage which says, Rama nadedante nade, Krishna nudidante nade. Okay. Tread the path of Rama's life. Like nadedante nade. The way he lived his life, you live your life like the way Rama lived his life. And Krishna nudidante nade. Follow your life like how Krishna said, like in his Gita. But I kind of don't agree with that. So I wrote an article saying Krishna nadedante nade, Krishna nudidante nade.
Oh wow. Okay.
So that was, I called it, the title of that was Rama a tributary to a river called Krishna. So Rama is an anga of Krishna. Krishna is so complete that Rama becomes a part of Krishna. So to me, Krishna, not just Bhagavad Gita, Krishna's life is a university. Krishna's life teaches you every single second. Forget about day or month. So let's just compare the two avatars. Both avatars came for specific reasons, but Rama, born to the king, very royal, a very good upbringing, amazing childhood, rich childhood. He got Vishwamitra as his teacher, and then, of course, we know his life. Then there was this lady called Kaikeyi. The saddest part is that she had a bearing on the king's government. So the king says, if you want, you ask me, Kaikeyi, I'm going to punish someone who is not guilty. I'm going to kill him. Or I'm going to release someone from the prison who has done like terrible things. So that's how much weak he was. So this Kaikeyi says to the Sharata that you had promised, and then Rama has become a scapegoat for that. We all know that story. But Kausalya says, I am also your mother. And this is your Matra Vakya. Pitra Vakya Paripalana is one thing. Matra Vakya Paripalana also has to be done. I am asking you to stay back. Yeah. So he says, see, you are Matra and I can respect you for that. But you are my mother only. He's the king. He's the leader of this country. I need to follow that. He goes. And then we know how, Sita was not invited. Sita invited herself, and then Lakshmana came by himself. And everything, she was kidnapped and he fought with Ravana. He killed Ravana, came back. We all know how much hardship he faced in life. On the other hand, Krishna, born behind bars. His death was born even before he was born. Okay? In his early childhood, he had continuous attacks from Kamsa's people. Everyone tried to kill him, and then he did not have a good childhood. He always faced challenges. He had no education till he was 8, 9, 10 or 11. Krishna was a very simple cowherd boy. Okay, so he took care of cows and he stole butter, ghee or whatever, milk. His childhood in comparison with Rama's childhood, can you even compare? Like diametrically opposite. Then Krishna, the lover boy, he kills Kamsa finally at the age of 11. He goes to Kamsa and then he kills Chanura Mushtika, the wrestlers, and then he finally kills Kamsa, and then he goes to Sandipani Muni, he learns, he stays in the ashrama, he learns 64 kalas in 64 days, and then his life takes him. There is a transformation that happens from being a Gopalaka. Krishna becomes a Rajkarni. He becomes a politician. And imagine the time of Krishna. Imagine the time of Rama. There was one Ravana maybe, and other people that, we see that in Kishkinda Kanda. They mention about other adharmic rulers or people. But in the time of Krishna, Mathura, Kamsa. Then there was Yavana Resha, Greece, like Europe, there was Kal Yavana. Then you have Shalva next to Mathura. Then you had Jarasandha in Magadha. You had Narakasura in Pragjyotisha, Assam. Then you had Paundraka Vasudeva in Bengal. Then Avinda Anuvinda in Maharashtra. Then you had Shishupala, Danta Bhaktara. Everyone, then you have Duryodhana, Kuru, entire Kuru family. Everyone is against him. Everyone is adharmic. Such was the condition of Krishna. The only light he saw was in Pandavas.
Wow.
This one man, one person, he knew that the Yadavas had that scattered everywhere. They were their lives were brutally challenged and by Kamsa, of course. He was so adharmic. So Krishna, after killing Kamsa, he travels around and he kind of unites all the Yadavas. He united them. After uniting them, because Kamsa was son-in-law of Jarasandha attacks Krishna 17 times. Krishna had to face that. And after all this, all the people started blaming Krishna. They say when Kamsa was our ruler, he was adharmic, I know. But then we at least had our house, we at least had our food or whatever. We were paying taxes to him and he was very we couldn't live in his tyranny, but still. Now Jarasandha is attacking us, we don't have a house. We don't have a land to stay. They started blaming Krishna. His brother Balarama was not so supportive. These many challenges. Then he went in an island, he created a kingdom, Dwaraka.
Yeah.
And after all this, he got hold of Pandavas, and then he broke all the nexus. He disconnected them one after the other. He killed everyone, all the adharmic rulers. Finally, he wanted to establish Dharma. Then he established in a way. Then Indraprastha happened. Then these fools went and they played the game of dice, and you know what happened. In absence of Krishna. And then again he was sad with that. Finally Kurukshetra happened. Again Krishna had to take part in it. Then he gave the Gita. He told the Gita to Arjuna. He motivated Arjuna. He motivated the entire army. And he gave his own army to Kauravas. Okay, all these things happened. And finally they won the war. After winning the war, he took curse from Gandhari.
Yeah.
For not his doing. It was not his doing. And after all that, And after all that, the only person that meant a lot to Krishna was Arjuna. And that Arjuna, in a way, insults Krishna. He says, you told me something that day in Kurukshetra. I have forgotten. That was beautiful. Can you repeat it?
Wow.
So everywhere in his life, Krishna saw disappointments. Only disappointments. Nothing else. And the Ashtamayishis, all the 8 wives, the 16,100 wives that he had, all of them, everywhere he was tortured. Okay, his life was not a cakewalk. His life was not like what we expect today. We worship him. But the number of challenges that he faced in his life without that chintana, that chinta in his mind. There are only 2 episodes where he acted as if he was angry. Otherwise, there is no instance in his life that he lost his calm. And after all this, he saw his own clan fight amongst themselves and they all disappeared. Then he thought he should go and rest in a forest. He was resting in a forest and he was shot. Disastrous life of Krishna. Disastrous life of Rama. But in spite of all this, Krishna never lost his spirit to live.
Wow.
Okay, he motivated people. He motivated, like every step he motivated people. That spirit of Krishna is what should guide us. So that is what guides me. Than his Bhagavad Gita, it's his spirit of life that guides me.
Wow. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. This was, this felt really nice. Thank you for taking that time to really explain it. And I hadn't thought of it like this in a very long time.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. So it has really paved the way for you.
Yeah.
Thought process,
Yes,
decision making.
Yes, totally.
Yeah. In terms of looking at challenges, I'm sure like you draw inspiration and strength from
From his
these
life.
things every day.
Every day.
Every day.
And looking at the greater good.
Yeah. So I think we come to the last part of this conversation where I want to check with you what's the plan forward for the next, say, 5 years, 10 years. What are things that are on Sharat's mind?
So a lot of things are there.
We'll see.
Lot of things. One, currently I'm working on many projects. One, I'm working on Ramayana called Valmiki. It's a production that will be bigger than my 18 days production.
Wow.
And we're also working on another production called Bha. So Bha, just the letter Bha, which has 28 meanings. So we want to create 28 productions out of it. So that is another thing that I'm working on. And we are also working on creating an experiential center with the Param project. If you've heard of that, it's one of the biggest projects which is happening here in Bangalore. We're creating an experiential historical walkthrough for people.
Wow.
2000 years of history of our country.
Beautiful.
Real history.
Beautiful.
Not told to us by Westerners or people with agenda. Real history, starting from the time of Alexander's invasion. That is going on. And apart from that, many other projects are lined up. We have a very huge project coming up. In Baswangudi, we have a space called Prabhath Kalata Puvana. We are planning to build an art center, an art space that will have multiple benefits. We'll have different soundproof walls. We'll have an OAT, an open air theatre, amphitheatre, where there is a Arali Vriksha. People ka paid. So we want to create a stage there, and we want people to give discourses.
Beautiful.
Teach Sanskrit. So these things there and in the OT, and then after that we're creating a 300 plus seater auditorium in the same space.
Wow.
And our idea is to see from a dancer's perspective, from an artist's perspective, generally, if I have to perform, if I have to give a performance, just a solo performance, I'll end up spending more than 1,25,000 rupees.
What are you saying?
Yeah, an auditorium.
What about ticket sales? I won't make my money.
But anyway, the expenditure is such, no?
Okay.
So not everyone can have people buy the tickets. So not every artist is blessed with that database and also that body of work.
That type of following also.
Yeah,
no? I mean,
it's
some
very,
of
very
them
important.
might be very new and
Exactly. So the auditorium, any auditorium in Bangalore, any good auditorium, that would cost you somewhere around 50,000, let's say.
upwards of that. Yeah.
And sadly, especially for our performances, the kind of lights that we use, sound system that we use, these auditoriums are not very well equipped with such fixtures. So additionally, for lights and sound, we incur another 50,000.
Yeah.
And this expenditure, that
production
expenditure,
companies and
etc.,
all of
all
that,
this 1,25,000, let's say. This is very minimum. Our idea is to bring this 1.25 to less than 50.
Wow.
So that more artists can come and perform, more artists can do it. So we're creating this auditorium, and then the next floor, we want to create a black box for people to come and shoot. And we want to create a recording studio setup. We already have, like, my cousin takes care of it. So we have plans of creating another one which is not so widely done for the professional purposes. Another one. Then we have a collection of around 15,000 books of my the collection of
video.
Yeah. So
you've
seen all the videos.
Yeah, I've seen that video where you show.
So we want to create a library there, and we want to create an experiential center there, and we want to create gym for artists, only for artists. Gym for artists.
Wow, what is this concept? I really like it. Why a gym for artists?
Because artists, see, musicians, they don't really care about their body, their health. So this is the saddest thing. Okay, all my musician friends, I keep telling them, don't do this, don't eat like that. They eat like 5 to 6 times a day.
Very true.
Okay, but they enjoy their life. They enjoy their life on stage and off stage.
Yes.
So one is that, and second thing, I know how prone we are to injuries as dancers and athletes. Let's say artists, actors, or even dancers. So we need to condition our body in a certain way, and for that we have techniques. And these dancers, these artists, athletes, they need to be treated and trained in a different way. It's not for like regular people, they can go hit a gym and work out. But artists, they need a special trainer, they need a special equipments, special exercises. So we want to create that space.
Wow.
And that space will also have yoga center, TRX, and all these things. Super. So this is also on the way, and we are starting our work very soon. So a lot of things are going on.
The second time you're going to be on this podcast, we'll shoot it at your space.
Yes. I really hope so. I really hope it happens.
Projects are ready.
Yes.
We'll shoot a part 2 in one of those spaces.
Surely.
Thanks, Sharat. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you. Thanks for having me again.
This was inspiring. This was knowledgeable. This was moving. This was entertaining for sure. This was fun. You really had zero, walls or anything. You're completely open and answering whatever I asked. You respected my good and bad questions.
There were only good questions. Were there bad questions? No, I didn't realize. Maybe halo effect.
So thank you for doing this, Sharat. I'm just glad we met you.
Likewise.
Yeah. Complete respect to you, your family, the lineage of work that exists. You sit here representing all of that and representing your future ideas. I hope we were able to do some justice to some of that. If at any point I've made any mistakes in my pronunciations of things, or I don't apologize for my opinions. I don't, but if I've made like some honest mistakes, forgive me for that. And thanks, Sharat. Any final words?
Same thing. You? If I've made any mistakes, knowingly or unknowingly, please forgive me. Don't make anything viral.
Anyway, thanks, Sharat. This was really amazing. This was really beautiful to just sit and listen. We're inspired to come to one of your shows now.
Please do come.
It just so happened that we had to do this before we do that, but it's fine. I think all in good time. Everything has its own ways of happening.
Yes.
I think now we'll truly inspired to be at one of your shows and come and see how things go there. So this was Sharat Prabhath, episode number 116. On a personal note with Adarsh Sakare, almost hitting 2 hours on this one. So quite a nice episode. If you watched till here, definitely let us know. If you have questions, definitely drop them in. We'll be happy to respond to them. And as always, we'll see you on the next one. Thank you.